Okay, so we talked a little bit about qualifying interviews. The next type of interview is a technical interview. And it's very common to combine qualifying and technical together, right? They're looking at your detail orientation, your team orientedness as part of that qualifying interview. But then they start rolling into questions about, hey, can you do specific aspects of the job? Like things like, do you know how to use Microsoft Excel? Or do you know how to do a pivot table in Excel? Or do you know how to program in C? Whatever it might be. Those are the technical aspects of the job in order to do the job. And the thing about that is when we say technical, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's high technology, like you think of a technology company. It's that you have the skills to do whatever is required of the job, whatever that may be. Maybe a technical part of the job is being able to manage multiple employees in multiple locations if you're a manager. There's nothing technical about that, but it's a really key technical soft skill around that, and you need to be able to do that. And they'll ask you to describe in these interviews how you might have used similar situations or maybe similar technology. So they might ask you, like, are you familiar with Microsoft Excel? And you say, yes, I am. And then that's all it might be. Or they might say, are you familiar with Microsoft Excel? And are you really good with pivot tables? And you'd say, yes, I'm really good with pivot tables. And that's where you want to expand on that and say, here's how I used them. Here's how I've used them in my past, how I've used a pivot table. As you can see, these examples where you're trying to build on that. As you get even more depth on like a technical type interview, and if it's really, really critical to the organization, they might actually ask you to demonstrate that. You might be talking with a hiring manager and he'll turn his laptop or turn his computer around and say, show me how you would do this, if it's something that would be, let's say, computer technology related. Or they might do a role play. Maybe a technical skill is being able to cold call people as a salesperson. They might say, here, pick up this phone and pretend you're cold calling somebody. That's a skill related to salespeople. So it's that ability to do the job is what they're looking for. One thing, if you're asked to actually demonstrate something, is think about what you're demonstrating and try to orientate it to where you can be in control. There's an old expression called demo and die, or demonstrate and die. And the idea is you're demonstrating something. If you're not really ready and it's not prepared or it's something you're not familiar with, you can die. You can like mess up and screw up and kind of look bad. So the more control you have on that, so instead of having, let's say, the interviewer saying, show me how to do this, you could say, oh, let me show you how I do this. And then you can kind of turn it around a little bit and then show them that you're able to meet those things and control the demo. If you're going to an interview, and this has happened to me many times, where they'll say, show me how you use this piece of software, and they tell me to bring this in as I'm coming to the interview. So by bringing in your own laptop or tablet, for example, you can have everything preloaded, all ready to go, and you can really demonstrate at your best and not really kind of die on the field with that. And you want to really be able to show yourself at the best, and not only show that you can do the basics of the job, but it gives you an opportunity to show, hey, here's how I can do more. And then you start rolling that into those transferable skills of like, hey, and I can show your team how to do this too. I can show you, Mr. Manager, how to do this too, and how this can really help the organization. I'm bringing in a lot more than the basics. I'm bringing in a whole lot more, and that's maybe one reason you should hire me, and that's the underlying thing behind that. But the idea of technical interviews is you got to be able to show, and they want to see that you can do that technical aspect of it, whether it's a high technology or even something that might be soft as far as the technology. Another way that folks might look for that is just bringing in samples or a portfolio. If you're a graphic artist, for example, just bringing in samples of your work might be something good. So be prepared bringing that in. And being able to demonstrate and to talk to those demonstrations is real critical. Lastly on this too is being more than just saying, yes, I can do this, or yes, I can do this technical part. Talk about challenges you've overcome using these technical things and really paint a vivid picture and show how you've really helped someone. Maybe it's a client, maybe it's a team member, maybe it's your old boss, or maybe soon to be old boss if you get hired by this new company, to really show like, you know what, this person is more than maybe we expected. And that'll be to your advantage.